Determine the equation of the ellipse using the information below. The endpoints of the major axis are -6, -3, and 4, -3, and the foci are -4, -3, and 2, -3. Let's begin by plotting the endpoints of the major axis, which again are -6, -3, and 4, -3. Notice we have a horizontal major axis. Let's also plot the two foci, which are -4, -3, and 2, -3. Because we have a horizontal major axis, the equation of the ellipse will be in the form where a is greater than b of the square of x minus h divided by a squared plus the square of y minus k divided by b squared equals 1. So the important thing to recognize here is because we have a horizontal major axis, the larger denominator is under the x part of the equation. The center is h comma k. The length of the major axis is 2a. The length of the minor axis is 2b. And a squared equals b squared plus c squared, where a is the distance from the center to either endpoint of the major axis, b is the distance from the center to either endpoint of the minor axis, and c is the distance from the center to either focus. Let's go ahead and find the center, which is the midpoint of the major axis, as well as the midpoint of the minor axis. Notice the major axis has a length of 10 units from x equals -6 to x equals 4. 10 divided by 2 equals 5, which indicates we can determine the center by starting at either endpoint and moving inward 5 units. Starting on the left, moving right 5 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the center of the ellipse, which is the point -1, -3. Let's record this because we need it for the equation. This indicates for the equation h equals -1 and k equals -3. Now we need to work on determining b. Analyzing the information, we know a is the distance from the center to either endpoint of the major axis, and therefore a is equal to 5. C is the distance from the center to either focus. Notice c equals 3. And now we'll use the equation a squared equals b squared plus c squared to determine b, or b squared. We really only need b squared for the equation, but to find the endpoints of the minor axis, we do need b. And let's write this equation as b squared equals a squared minus c squared, which means in our case, b squared is equal to the square of 5 minus the square of 3, which is 25 minus 9, which equals 16. So we know b squared equals 16, and if we square root both sides of the equation, we know b is positive, b equals +4. We now have all the information we need to write the equation, but let's first sketch the ellipse. So the next step, let's determine the endpoints of the minor axis. To do this, because b equals 4, we start at the center and go up 4 units. Go back to the center and go down 4 units. These are the endpoints of the minor axis, which would be this axis here. And now we can make a rough sketch of the ellipse passing through the endpoints of the major axis and the minor axis. The ellipse would look something like this. And now let's go ahead and write the equation. To begin, we have the square of x minus h, which is the square of x minus -1, divided by a squared, which is the square of 5 or 25, plus the square of y minus k, which is the square of y minus -3, divided by b squared, where b squared is 16, equals 1. Simplifying, we have the square of x plus 1 divided by 25 plus the square of y plus 3 divided by 16 equals 1. This is the equation for the given ellipse. I hope you found this helpful.